Hey buddy. So last time we managed to automate our first component for the space elevator and smart plating. So obviously it is a big achievement, but we need those other two automated as well. So in this episode we're going to focus on versatile framework and the automated wiring. We're going to add those to the same factory and have a space elevator factory. We're going to try to decorate it as well, just to make it a little bit more pretty and interesting. And there are two other products we need to focus on: concrete, because that one is using an illegal recipe at the moment, and the other one is our steel. Last time I kind of abandoned that. Okay. Anyway, I abandoned the steel production because I was frustrated too much. So today we're gonna address that and try to fix, and maybe also move it to a new location. Oh, just one more question before we start. I was wondering if you guys would like to see some of my other builds from other playthroughs with a very different vibe and aesthetic. So if you'd like to see those, just let me know in the comments. Thanks. So there we go. This is our smart plating being delivered to our space elevator. But unfortunately the recipe I was using for concrete was illegal, so there was just a vanilla recipe using limestone, but we can't use that. I didn't notice that, I just didn't realize we can already access a different one. So here, let me show you. We have this one using here, so we gotta get rid of that. First, let's just check if we have some room to spare when it comes to our power. Yeah, we have a little bit of left. As you can see, we have about 5.5, but obviously it fluctuates, so sometimes it kind of touches our usage, the production, but it's still relatively safe. We have those batteries there, so it should be fine. Maybe I'm gonna add just a few more here, maybe one more row. They are fully charged, so they should give us a bit of a cushion when we do exceed our power production. But I think when I find a little break between building, I'm just gonna go and maybe grab a couple of more geothermal generators. So here we're gonna place our miner for the quartz, because that's the recipe we're gonna be using for concrete. First we gotta mix raw quartz with limestone, actually. That's gonna produce silica. And after that we're gonna be able to produce concrete by mixing silica and more limestone. So I'm gonna drop the quartz here with all the other products. Connect it like that. And both of these recipes are produced in assemblers. So we're gonna get rid of our constructor that produce concrete and instead use assemblers both for the silica and for concrete. So as you can see here, we have a pure node of quartz, so we're gonna have some extra quartz, so we might use that later for some quartz crystals. Those might come in handy as well. But first we gotta use these recipes here. So first one is for silica, cheap silica it's called, and then cheap silica, or with the silica that we make, we can use it for fine concrete. So those are going to be two recipes that we will rely on. After we get foundries, obviously we'll have some more options like wet concrete, but for now we gotta use those. Oh, blade runners. Right, so let me set it up and I'll show you when it's finished. Right, so we have a couple of impure limestone nodes, but it's fine. When we combine them, we get a normal one basically. So that's got to give us 120 more. And just remove the rocks first. Right. So then we're going to send the new limestone down with our quartz. Just going to move it to this left side and maybe juggle some of the other ones. Okay, so we have connected our iron as well and some space for the limestone. So now we just gotta wait for it to arrive here. I mean, first to silica and then here to our concrete. Right, let's see. We have limestone and, yep, the first silica bags are being produced. Great. So now we have automated our new concrete. Right. So since we had some leftover quartz, we can use that to produce quartz crystals. We don't have that much coal because most of it is being used for the tractor. Or I want to keep it for the tractor because we're going to set up another tractor to bring our steel to this main base. So I'm just going to use a little bit of the coal to have some quartz. And let's see. Any second now. Any second. Yep, there we go. That's our quartz crystal being produced. Heck yeah. So we're collecting in a little box there, and we'll be able to use it for some decorations. Nice. Alright, so now let's take a look at these signs. I have a little trick I like to use with machines. I like to put a sign above the output just to be able to see what's being produced in the machine. Some machines have a really easy place to snap it to. It just snaps right on with the foundries. So we are producing iron ingots here. So I'm just going to change the color to a nice green. And yep, you can mark what each machine is producing. With foundries, it's super easy to do that, but with other machines, sometimes they snap but to weird little places, and with some of them, like the assemblers, they just don't snap at all. But I'll show you a little trick how to take care of that as well. So if constructors, they snap a bit too high, so I like to break them down, place them here, and then just use that as a guide for the other machines. Yeah, it's pretty easy. But when it comes to assemblers, I use a wall just to first place that, then nudge it in place, then hold it in place and nudge it into the correct place that I like on the assembler. So, I think this is good. And then when you have that, you can just use that as a starting point and nudge them to other ones. I want to also check out this cross beam that we have. So this one is the new addition in 1.2. There's very few buildables that they added, but this is one of them. And I think it looks pretty cool, more interesting than a regular painted beam. So I'm going to create a little separation between the walkway and the machines, but I'm not sure if I should use 1 or 2. I like the texture, but I think I don't like that how it's snapping into the floor, so I think it would be better if I have it sitting on top of the floor. If there isn't a gap there. Nope, there isn't. And we can use 2 maybe? But that might be a little bit too tall. Yeah, I think just 1 is gonna be enough. Then we can place, since we have the quartz, we can place some signs on those beams, just to make it pretty. But I'm gonna do that in the blueprint designer, just to make it a bit easier. I think the new beam looks pretty cool. Right, so let's hop into the blueprint designer. So here we're going to use the idea of just placing signs on top of this beam, on the side of this beam. I'm just going to set it to like as bright as we can with the settings. And we could now zoop them, but that leaves this divider in between, which I'm not a huge fan of. So what I like to do is to clip them inside of one another. So we just place the beginning and the end, and then you just clip them as little as you can, yep, like this. And that way it creates a perfect light without any dividers. So obviously you have to do it once to connect them all, but you put it in the blueprint and you have your beam with lights ready. And you can just save up. Then you just save your blueprint. Then you just save your blueprint and you're ready to go. So I guess I'm not going to be using the zooping of the signs, but I mean, still, I guess some people like that. And with some other signs, you can't really avoid the separators. Even if you clip them, they still remain there. Right. So that's kind of the idea. that I had with these walkways. We have these nice white paths, and from the distance it looks like kind of okay, I think. So I'm gonna try to decorate this base a little bit. We'll see how it goes. I don't really have a vision yet, so I'm just gonna try some things and we will see if it all comes together. But I'm just gonna use different materials, different structures, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so this is what I have. It's kind of ugly. I don't like it. It just looks, I don't know. I'm not too pleased with that, but maybe I'm just gonna keep that for now and we'll see. So if you look at the smart plating in the corner, you'll see that we jumped a little bit. But that's because chronologically now I built a third version of the coal power plant, but it doesn't really matter. I have finished decorating this building, but it looks like ass. So I just want to rebuild the whole thing. I'm just gonna put it around this pillar here, try to kind of blend in more with the cliffs and make it quite pretty and just more hidden in a way, because this block we have now is just a rectangle and it sticks out like a sore thumb, and I just really don't like it. So I'm just gonna demolish this whole thing and build something nice and fresh and pretty, and I hope it's gonna look a little bit better than what we have currently. So yeah, let's get to work. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. But now we have to take care of this steel, because we're gonna need more steel for the space elevator parts. So I found this spot here close to our coal, which is inside of this huge mountain. I believe this is the tallest mountain actually in the game. So there's this little pond here that I thought would be pretty cool to build around. So I'm gonna build around it, so another circular design, but I think it's gonna match this little pond area here. Oh, we have some sand here as well. Maybe we'll use that later. But for now I'm just gonna destroy this one here and move all the coal inside of this mountain and produce our steel also in higher quantities than before. So I'm just gonna set up our foundation inside of this pond. So I wanted to have a nice little window into the pond, so in the middle of our foundation there's gonna be a circle where you can just take a look at the pond below, and we're just making a nice, and we're just gonna make that a nice little water feature built into this factory. So I'm just gonna set out like always, just with our foundations going around the central point, also diagonally. And on these 8 spokes we're going to place our machines. In this case it's going to be our foundries. We'll have 2 foundries per spoke, and one is going to be producing iron ingots, and the other one steel ingots. So we're not going to be producing any steel beams or steel pipes in this here factory, but instead we're going to be sending all the ingots to the space elevator factory and then producing things there. So as you can see, I'm placing these foundries here. So first this one, I'm going to add a second one next to those, and so then I'm going to hollow out the middle, but first I need that to just rotate it a little bit like that, and then drag it out to create this circle. So the bottom of the factory, so the bottom is going to be this big circle of foundations, and on top we'll have these foundries. So now let's get rid of the middle to reveal our beautiful pond just a little bit more. And yeah, there we go. I think that's going to look pretty nice that we have this. Oh, hey buddy. Okay, so let's just add some asphalt to these foundations so we don't see the clipping as much, and remove the outer circle or 2 just to make it a little bit smaller. We don't need it to be that big. So we need a few more ingredients for the foundries actually, so I'm gonna grab some from the base, and yeah, we'll be almost done. I just noticed that the night is just so beautiful. Sometimes you just kind of stop and look at the game and like, geez, it's so pretty. Look at this beautiful night. Look at the moon. It's so peaceful. So beautiful. Oh, hey, buddy. Can I take a picture with you? You're so cute. A little goofy little giraffe guy. Can I take a couple more, please? Don't be shy, come on. Oh, come on. Just a couple more. Okay, last one, I promise.
The moonlight shows what we really are. We are not among the living, and so we cannot die, but neither are we dead. For too long, I've been parched of thirst and unable to quench it. For too long, I've been starving to death and haven't died. I feel the sea, nor the warmth of a woman's flesh. You best start believing in ghost stories, pioneer. You're in one.
Okay. So, I think, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go this way. Yes, have a good one. Let's take it easy. Alright, so we have our stuff for the foundry, so we can put the last 7 there, install in our steel factory, and yep, I think I'm not gonna spend too much time decorating it yet. We have a good foundation there, so our first priority is the space elevator. So what I'm gonna do here is just finish the foundries, connect all the raw ingredients underneath, and yeah, we'll be done. That's the finished factory for now. I think it looks decent. We have a good... Oh, that's 1 second. Yep, okay. Right, so we are producing 405 a minute. Okay. So that's a good amount for now. So just gonna set up a truck here and send it back to our base. Okay, so just a couple of foundations here. Nothing too crazy, just function for now. I really want to start collecting these items in our space elevator. Just a truck station here. I'm gonna set the route all the way back to the main factory, which is not super close, but that's fine. I'm sure our trusty tractor can get there. Right, so now we just need the tractor. We're gonna set it to steel. Load. We need to give it a little bit of fuel just to start, so I'm gonna grab some coal from our foundry here, just so the little guy can start going. And then he's gonna get the fuel in the main base on the other track station. Okay. So just set the vehicle path. Steel. Oh, I didn't change the name for the other one, but I'll take care of that in a second. So it will use 21 coal per trip, so that's not too bad. We have enough. Alright. So off you go, little buddy. I'll see you back at the base. So here is our space elevator. I think it turned out pretty good. I haven't finished the decoration, but the functional bit is finished. We are producing 5 smart plating a minute, 7.5 versatile framework, and 2 automated wiring. I want to sloop them further, but I just ran out of energy. So once I get more, I'm gonna sloop and increase our production even more. I think it turned out quite well, but I'm gonna add just a little bit more decorations, a little bit more to it just to make it pretty. But then we have to take care of this other one. So this one on the left is producing our concrete from quartz and limestone, but I don't like the look of that, so I'm gonna rework it. I think it turned out quite nice. I'm really proud of this design. Oi, that is not great. So we are actually dipping below our production. Okay, now it's charging. Oh, it's not. Okay. So that's a little bit sketchy. I know that my next build is gonna be another coal power plant, because this is just not great. Okay, so I added some pipes on the top just to kind of finish it of... I think that's a nice little idea to have the pipes. I'm gonna wrap them around each floor, but it's a little bit tedious because I'm putting these pipe wall supports and then putting them kind of inside of these, and I need 3 per each corner, so it is a little bit time consuming. So I think instead of doing that manually, I'm just gonna design a quick blueprint for that, just to speed things up, instead of doing all of that manually. So let's hop into our designer. Right, so I recreated one floor here, so I'm just adding these wall supports already with some pipes. Then we can get rid of everything that we have already placed in our factory. And we'll be able to just put the kind of brackets with the pipe mounts. And collect a couple of pipes to each corner, and yeah, that will be all. So let's see if we can place that into the factory as well. So we just grab our blueprint. It's going to be a little bit finicky trying to put it exactly where it needs to be, but obviously we have the nudge mode, so I'm just going to place it, lock it in place, and then just kind of position it where I want it to be. Kind of here. Yeah, maybe just a little bit to the right, and yep, there we go. Right, so I placed all of them. All we need to do now is get rid of these pipeline supports, but I think it turned out quite well, but without them it's going to be super clean. Like these bends, I'm using the curve build mode on the pipe, so I think with that it's just going to look super clean and pretty. I might add some decorations later, even more decorations later, but for now I think that's going to be enough. So let me just remove the last few pipeline supports, and let's take a look how it turned out. Oh yeah, there we go. I think that is pretty nice. I really like that. I think that's pretty cool. I'm gonna do something about these inner bends. I think those look a little bit out of place, but I'll take care of that maybe a bit later, because now I want to connect it to this other factory. So I had this idea to take these little arches that we can see in the distance there and kind of put another one like that, connecting our main factory with the coal factory. So I'm just gonna try to build something connecting these two parts. So I'm gonna go back to our blueprint designer, and here we're just gonna place a couple of foundations. Then I'm gonna grab a painted beam, set it in the middle, point it up, and then from here I'm gonna be grabbing beams and connecting it to these concrete pillars. So then I'm gonna grab a next beam and attach it to the edge of the previous concrete pillar. I think it's gonna be easier if I actually start here, so I'm gonna go that and go back to the beginning and just keep going in the same fashion until we get a nice arch, or part of it at least. Okay, as you can see, now we have quite a few of them. I couldn't fit anymore, so let's see what it looks like when we try to put it here. Oh yeah, okay. So there's gonna be some positioning as well, some aligning of course, but I think if we connect that, then the exact same one on the other side, and then a couple of pieces to join them, I think that's gonna look pretty cool. Right, so with the first one, I'm actually gonna add a couple more just to make it a little bit thicker. So I'm just gonna position another one right next to this first one. Right, kind of like that. And maybe one more, so we have a nice thick... Oh, actually, think I'm gonna clip them into one another. So just position the third one. Yeah, okay. I think that's looking pretty good. Okay, so let's design this piece that's gonna connect those two parts. So we're gonna start again with the painted beam, but we can't put it here because it's too tall. It's sticking out of the blueprint designer. So what I'm gonna do is just place it here and then just go back 4 steps. And that way it's gonna be on the same kind of arch as the first piece, but it's just gonna be a little bit lower, so it's gonna fit in the designer, and we're gonna be able to then nudge it back in place and connect like so. Okay, just a little bit more to the side. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. So we take 3 of these pieces on this side, we flip them, connect them on the other side. Right, so we just nudge those in position as well. Okay, so that's kind of the idea. It's not perfect, I need to move it a little bit lower, but yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty cool. Right, so I have connected both sides, and I think that's looking quite nice. I'm gonna change the color to something darker, just like our sides here, to make it blend a little bit better. So let me just paint all of those. Okay, okay. I think that's looking quite alright. Oh, we don't need these pieces on the bottom, so let me get rid of those. Okay. Nice. Oh, hey, buddy. What are you doing here? There's no grass here. Come. This way. Come, buddy. Come here. Hey, buddy. Come here. I'm gonna build you a little ramp so you can go eat your grass over there. Oh, too steep. Let's use this one. See, buddy? Can you come here? Hello? Okay, let me just trap him a little bit so I'm gonna guide him to the ramp. This poor fella is stuck here on the roof. Come here. Okay, but maybe let's put some rails here, so... Let's put some barriers here so it doesn't fall and die. Okay, you can zoom these? The hell? Oh, they're invisible? Okay, never mind. Oh yeah, see, buddy? Come here. Yeah. Nope, wrong way. This. Oh, okay. Oh well. I hope he finds his way back to the grass. I don't really like the position of the arch, because it's I would rather have it closer to this edge. So I think I'm gonna reposition it all, just to make it a little bit more seamless with this other factory. Just push it a little bit closer to this edge, but I'll get it back to you when it's repositioned. Okay, so I may just put the finishing touches here on this new version. I added a little bit more in the middle just to stretch it out a bit, and yeah, I think that looks pretty good. There's obviously some Z-fighting, but we're not going to be looking at it too closely. I can't put the asphalt on it because it is a concrete pillar, so you can't really change materials of those. Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna say like that. So our little buddy here is still trapped. I'm trying to push him out, but he's really stubborn. He doesn't want to go. He seems hungry, but he's trying to eat the concrete, which is obviously not gonna work, so... Come on, buddy. Maybe he's a donkey, not a hog. But anyway, here we're gonna put some pillars. Yeah. I mean, I wanted to rebuild this concrete anyway. I wasn't happy with how it turned out, so I'm just gonna place these here. So I know where I want them. But then I'm gonna rebuild this whole concrete factory as well. Our friend is finally moving. I'm just gonna make sure he doesn't go back. I really tried to save him. I didn't want him to fall off and die. Let me just clean this up a bit. Come on, buddy. You can do it. You can do it. Keep going. Ah, see? Much better. Now you're in the grass. You can have a little snack, you can just chill and run around. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Much better. This is our factory finished here. You can see our concrete production. It's all new and moved nice in center of this arch. We have our main space elevator factory, which is looking pretty snazzy. I really like that, with all the floors and the belts in between. Maybe it looks a little bit messy to some people, but to me it looks really freaking cool. I'm still gonna do something about the pipes in the middle, because they kind of look strange, but that's for another day. For now, I think there was a lot of work put into this space elevator factory. So what we need to do now is just take a quick look. What do we have here? That's a nice build here. So then we have the archway connecting both parts. I also designed these little cutouts here. Our assemblers producing silica and then concrete. I think that looks... Oh, come on, buddy. He's so stubborn. Whatever. I'm just gonna leave him here to chill. Right. So I hope you guys liked my build here, my space elevator. I'm happy that I'm finally done with all the parts automated. Maybe not super fast yet. We'll get to that. We get some sloops. But now, oh, we also have this nice cutout for the miner. So yeah, that was a lot of work, but I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I even blended it here with the cliffside. I think that's pretty nice with the similar colors. And all our products moving up and down the elevator shaft, so yeah, I'm really proud of how it all turned out. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, thank you for being here, and I'll see you soon.